South of the Temple District, sitting peacefully docked in the Imperial waterfront, rests the Bloated Float, a ship converted into an inn. This unique establishment stands out from the usual inns and lodges for being the only kind of its business to be located right on the water. Owned and operated by a high elf by the name of Ormel, one can expect the usual offering of a room for the night. Heading out to the top deck, players can expect a matchbox-sized space to take in the views of the waterfront. Now, with a one-of-a-kind spot right out in the water within the boundaries of the Imperial City, how much does one night on the Bloated Float cost?
There's a room, all right, and a fine room it is. Yours for the night for only 10 gold.
10 gold. 10 gold! For a room on board this beautiful, humble vessel near Lake Romare and just outside the gorgeous Imperial City. Compare that to the Tiber Septim Hotel. They're charging 40 gold a night to stay in a hotel named after the only guy who can afford such a price. Try uniting all of Tamriel to justify those rates. Most players would overlook staying at an inn. I could just head inside any guild hall and sleep for free. But I implore you all to give the Bloated Float a chance. It'll only cost a mere 10 gold. And as Ormel himself encourages,
you've never had a night's rest like this, I assure you.
Stepping down to the lower deck, guests are greeted by a whole lot of wooden planks, no windows, and a claustrophobic hallway which leads directly to our room. For the night, we are given a single bed, a small table with a bowl, a pitcher, a cup. Hey, where are we going? Oh, okay, the 40 gold's not looking that bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I know it looks like a dump, but before you leave, please, it's already been a long day. Why not just sleep here for the night, you know, and we'll find better sleeping accommodations tomorrow, you know? We already put down the 10 gold. Might as well use the room. It's not that bad. Well, upon waking up, we can see that we've been given a quest. An Unexpected Voyage. I've awakened to find that the Bloated Float has somehow put to sea with myself on board. I need to find the owner and discover what's happened. Leaving our room to investigate, we encounter the first of several boat-jacking thieves, a Nord under the nickname Lynch.
Hey, who in Oblivion are you? You don't look like one of the Blackwater brigands.
Answering just a passenger confuses Lynch, and only pushes for us to reveal why we're on the boat.
What? I was told there are only 2 others on board. I locked the bouncer in the storage room, and she has the owner. So that leaves you. Now I'll ask again. Who are you?
We can lie to him by telling him, I'm a member of your gang.
There's no one else in our group except the 4 of us. The Blackwater Brigands don't just take on new members out of the clear blue sky. When we formed the Brigands 3 months ago, I was told no more than a 4-way split on all the profits. So stop telling lies and tell me what you're doing here.
Unfortunately, he doesn't buy it.
Then perhaps my sword can find the words that your mouth cannot. Ha! You'll never take.
I've killed a thief named Lynch. Apparently he's a member of some group calling themselves the Blackwater Brigands. They must have hijacked the Bloated Float and put her out to sea. It appears that Lynch has locked the Bloated Float's bouncer in the storage room. I should search his body and see if there's a key to free him. Searching Lynch's body, we do find the storage room key, along with a note titled Lynch's Instructions. The note reads, "Lynch, your instructions are to make your way to the bottom deck of the ship and secure all of the rooms there. Make sure you don't disturb Minx. She's to be left alone to do her assignment. Remember, after the ship is scuttled, we'll meet back in Breville in 3 days. Make sure you destroy this note after you memorize it. S." Now our unfortunate situation is clear. The Bloated Float has fallen victim to a group of thieves, calling themselves the Blackwater Brigands. We just so happened to be quietly resting in our cabin while these criminals were under the notion that the boat only had 2 occupants, the owner, Ormel, and his bouncer, which we'll meet in just a moment. With the boat under their control, this group has sailed out to open waters, most likely somewhere around the Nibbin Bay, before they plan on abandoning the vessel and meeting up at Breville. Using the storage room key, we can open the room opposite of the one we left. Here we meet that very bouncer.
I'm Graman Gromarad, the Bloated Float's bouncer and helmsman. I've been locked in that storage room for hours.
I don't know exactly what's going on, but not long ago, a gang of thieves calling themselves the Blackwater Brigands stormed the ship.
They took myself and Ormel, the float's owner, hostage and put the ship to sea. I have no idea what they're after. If you can get me safely to the top deck, I can steer the float home. But I'm not budging until the coast is clear. I'm used to dealing with drunken louts, not a gang of well-armed thieves.
Entering back out to the tavern area, we can find the next member of the Blackwater Brigands, a dark elf going by the name Minx.
Ho there, where do you think you're going? Celine's not going to like this one bit. I wasn't to be disturbed.
Let's try telling her that we were sent up by Lynch.
Lynch sent you up here? Why? Did he send you to talk to Celine?
Now, if we remember from the note, Minx doesn't like to be bothered, so we can rule out that first option.
What does she need assistance with? She has Ormil under her own watchful eye in his cabin. Something isn't right here. What happened to Lynch?
Well...
You bested Lynch. I always knew he was out of practice. Oh well, I suppose it's up to me to do his job for him, as usual.
I've killed a second thief. This one, a dark elf named Minx. Seems like these thieves are using strange code names. The only useful bit of advice I discovered is that their leader seems to be named Celine. I should search her belongings for anything of use, then make my way to the top deck and secure the ship's wheel for Graman.
Nice work.
Searching her body, we can find the key to the top deck. Heading out, we're immediately confronted by another Nord, this one under the name Wrath.
Ah, what are you doing up here? They find the Golden Galleon yet?
It's important to note 2 things here. The Blackwater Brigands are very disorganized. Swords should have been drawn from the moment we confronted each of them. There should not have been a chance for us to make conversation, yet they all hesitated, as if we could have really been a part of their group from the get-go.
Hey, who in Oblivion are you? You don't look like one of the Blackwater Brigands.
What does she need assistance with? She has Ormil under her own watchful eye in his cabin. Something isn't right here. What happened to Lynch?
Ah, what are you doing up here? They find the Golden Galleon yet?
And 2, what's the Golden Galleon? And what's the Bloated Float have to do with it? I mean, a galleon is a ship, so you mean to tell me the whole inn is made of gold?
Orders? Celine didn't tell me about this, and I don't remember her taking on someone else to help us find the Golden Galleon. When did all this happen?
Considering that this group can't confidently decide if we're really part of their syndicate, it wouldn't really make sense to tell Raph that we met yesterday.
Damn that woman. She promised a 4-part split when we recovered the Golden Galleon. She never said anything about splitting it 5 ways. She said when we got back to the safe house in Breville, we would divide the loot after she fenced the damn thing. Do Lynch and Minx know about this? Well, since they're out of the way, if I kill you, that means Celine and I split the take 2 ways. This heist is getting better and better.
I've slain yet another thief, this one a large Nord named Raph. He was guarding the ship's wheel. He mentioned that they hijacked the Bloated Float to recover something called the Golden Galleon. I should now get to Graman and tell him that the path to the ship's wheel is safe. For a group to organize such an elaborate scheme, stealing a boat, holding its occupants hostage, and planning a post-robbery meeting, this Golden Galleon must really cost a fortune. Checking Raph's inventory, we find the key to Ormel's cabin, where we know Celine is holding the owner captive. But before we head back in, let's admire this special view. And I know, the watercolors being vastly different does give away the fact that we're just in a big old box and not the vast open sea, but hey, let's just enjoy it anyway. Entering Ormel's cabin, we're confronted by the final member of the Blackwater Brigands, Celine. Unlike with our encounters with her associates, there is a way for us to talk Celine into surrendering. I hope you've been paying attention to all the important details of the Brigands' scheme. Well, we took the key from Raph.
Roth? I told him to guard the wheel and not talk to anybody. Who are you?
I'm here to join the gang.
We made a solemn pact not to let anyone else join the gang. I can remember it clearly, even though it was...
3 months ago?
What? Can no one in this gang keep things secret? I suppose you think you know why you've taken over the Bloated Float as well.
To find the Golden Galleon, of course.
How did you know about that? No matter. Once I've taken care of you, we'll scuttle the ship and be off to our safe house. No one will find us there.
You mean the safe house in Breville?
Again you have surprised me with your knowledge of our operation. I suspect Lynch didn't check all the in-rooms before we departed.
I really can't think of how Lynch managed to miss us when checking those rooms. Maybe he just couldn't get past the door locks? But why join a gang of thieves if you can't even pick a lock?
You must have been hiding down there and made your way up here. How did you get past Minx, Roth, and Lynch? Impossible. You defeated the 3 of them alone? I'm humbled by your skill, and fear that assaulting you would lead to my own quick demise. Please accept my surrender. Here's my blade. Please, no treasure is worth my life. The Bloated Float is yours.
After awkwardly kissing Celine, we can finally speak to Ormel.
Thank goodness you arrived when you did. I feared that I'd be thrown to the slaughterfish. If you get Selena safely locked up, I can tell you all I know. I won't feel safe until you do that.
After locking Celine up in the room next to the one we woke up in, we can speak to Ormel again for more information regarding the Golden Galleon.
Now that Celine is locked up safely below, I think we can all breathe a little easier. I can't thank you enough. Well, I'm afraid all of this was my fault. They hijacked the Bloated Float because of me. Business has been waning of late, so I invented a story. I fashioned a tale about a golden galleon that the previous owner hid within this very vessel. It was to be a statuette made completely of gold. At the time, the idea was quite clever, I thought. I figured the lore would draw more curiosity seekers and adventurers looking for the treasure. What could the harm be if while they were here, they bought a drink or two? My business has increased quite a bit since I leaked the story. Well, obviously, I was mistaken. It was a terrible idea. I'm just glad that no innocents were hurt. I wouldn't want to have their blood on my hands. Anyway, sorry to ramble. You better get below now and rest until we arrive safely at the Imperial City docks.
There you have it. The Golden Galleon, this valuable treasure that attracted the Blackwater Brigands to steal the Bloated Float, sail it out the waterfront, and hold its owner and bouncer hostage, was just a lie created to sell more alcohol. There was no treasure. Ironically, what was thought to hold so much value was actually losing money.
Please, go get some rest.
After this conversation, we can head back to where it all started, our 10 gold room. Waking up, we're greeted by the final quest page, informing us that we have returned from our journey. Speaking to Ormil one more time, we are given one last update on Celine's fate and our reward for her arrest.
You're wondering what I did with Celine. The authorities at the Imperial City took her off the ship as soon as we docked. I was also informed that there was a reward for her capture. Here you go. Don't spend it all in one place, unless it's here, of course. She was a ruthless woman, and I'm glad she's behind bars where she belongs. Farewell, my friend.
And with that, we leave this boat having completed the quest, An Unexpected Voyage. It was a short but unique experience, like renting a room on the Bloated Float. We leave not only with a gold reward, but with Celine's enchanted fine steel longsword, the Blackwater Blade. Each hit absorbs 20 points of fatigue from whoever it strikes, for a duration dependent on the player's level at the time of attainment. Now, going back to the moment where we were first confronted by Lynch, you might be wondering, what would have happened if we chose the other dialogue options?
City Watch? I doubt it. But since you have aligned yourself with them, I think it's time to put an end to this conversation.
Well, they're all just shortcuts to the fight. For those experiencing this quest for the first time, picking the wrong option would mean you'd be missing out on some important details of the Brigands' plan, which will make selecting the correct options for Celine to surrender a bit difficult.
You are a liar. Lynch had specific instructions not to disturb me. Since you came from below decks, you must have gotten past Lynch. I swear, you will not get past me.
Liar! We never met yesterday. You're an intruder!
We made a solemn pact not to let anyone else join the gang. I can remember it clearly, even though it was... wrong, fool. I've grown tired of this guessing game. I've much to do, and you're in the way. I aim to rectify that.
And fighting Celine herself is no joke, especially if you're low in levels. Because of your small amount of stamina, you'll be constantly staggering back and kissing the floors from all that stamina absorption she'll be benefiting
Best you
from.
can do. Am I supposed to be impressed? Do your worst.
If you can't remember every detail of their plan, or just want to speed your way to obtaining the Blackwater Blade for yourself, just pick every second dialogue option.
We made a solemn pact not to let anyone else join the gang. I can remember it clearly, even though it...
And with that, our quest overview comes to an end. Thank you for joining me on this voyage, and I hope you all plan your next stay in the Imperial City with Ormel on the Bloated Float. Like and subscribe. I'll be doing more overviews of other Oblivion quests I want to spotlight. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.